Good morning, class 9 students. I welcome you all on our online digital learning platform provided by Jagriti Classes. Today we are going to study about isotopes and isobars, that is the last topic of your chapter. Okay? So this unit is for class 9th. And this would be the last part of your chapter 4. So our topic today for starting would be, what do you mean by the term isotopes? Isotopes, firstly talking about its definitions, isotopes are the atoms of same element or they belong to the same element. What is the difference is that, I'll write it down. Isotopes, they are the atoms of same element which contain or probably we can say which have. Isotopes are the atoms belonging to the same element which have same atomic numbers and different mass number. Okay? So all the atoms which have same atomic number and different mass number are referred to as isotopes. For example, the different isotopes, as we can represent it simply, firstly we'll see how we represent the symbol or the symbolic representation of any element. So before this, we'll see the symbolic representation of elements. So how do you actually represent elements? By using their symbols. In this, you can see that symbolic representation means we'll not write the complete name of the element. We'll write its formula or simply its symbol. For example, if I want to represent any element, then I'll write its symbol, and after writing the symbol, we put below its atomic number, and above the symbol, we put its mass number. So this is the way to write the element, and as I have already discussed that atomic number is denoted by the symbol capital Z and this mass number is shown by the symbol capital A. So while representing any element, you can write its formula, that is its symbolic representation, right below its atomic number and above the mass number. We have already discussed in our previous video lectures what do you mean by mass number and atomic number. Okay, so just giving you a quick recap, atomic Z symbolizes atomic number of any atom or any element, and atomic number is equal to number of protons present in the element, and in turn I have already said that these number of protons are usually equal to the number of electrons. So what we write here, Z means its atomic number, and what do you mean actually by atomic number? Atomic number signifies the total number of protons present in a particular atom, and these number of protons are usually equal to the number of electrons. So if you know the atomic number of any atom, you can know its protons and electrons, that is how many electrons and how many protons are present in your atom. So this is what we represented by the term Z. And what do you mean by A? A stands for mass number. And mass number, that is the mass. The number which represents the mass of any atom or element is called mass number. And what is this mass number? This is equal to the sum of number of protons and neutrons you have in your atom. So mass number is equal to sum of number of protons and neutrons present in your atom. So while writing or while representing any element symbolically, how can you achieve that? You have to know its symbol, okay? Then you have to write its atomic number below and the mass number as its superscript, or mass number is represented above. Taking an example for this, if I wanted a symbolic representation of nitrogen, let's do it in the next slide. That for symbolic representation, let's suppose I have to make the symbolic representation of nitrogen. How would I do that? Firstly, you have to know the symbol of nitrogen. The symbol of nitrogen is capital N. Then you know that nitrogen has an atomic number 7. Now for knowing the atomic number and mass number, you have to memorize the table given in your books, okay? Or you can memorize the periodic table too. At least memorize all the elements, that is the first 18 elements given in your NCERT textbook, because that is necessary now. So nitrogen has an atomic number 7. You can see in that table that nitrogen comes at the 7th position. So its atomic number is 7. And the mass number of nitrogen. The mass number of nitrogen is 14. So we have the element nitrogen with an atomic number equals to 7 and its mass number, that is its mass is equal to 14. And you know, if you know the atomic number, then number of protons in nitrogen would also be 7, because we say that atomic number is equal to number of protons present in your atom. So number of protons would be 7, and therefore because generally and usually 90% of the times the number of proton is equal to number of electrons. So if we have 7 protons, then the number of electrons would also be 7. Talking about the neutrons, can you find how many neutrons you have in this nitrogen atom? Can you do so? This is very simple. For finding, we know that mass is equal to mass number, or mass of atom is equal to number of protons and number of neutrons. Now you have your mass number to be 14. So we have mass number of nitrogen to be 14, and we know number of protons in nitrogen is 7. So you get 7 plus N0. N0 here represents number of neutrons. Okay. So N0 can be found by putting this 7 or taking this 7 at your left hand side. So this would give you 14 minus 7 equals to N0, and so the value of N0 will be 7. That is, in the case of nitrogen, the number of neutrons is also 7. So in nitrogen, all the 3 subatomic particles are 7 in number. That is, the number of protons, electrons and neutrons are 7. Now can you represent this symbolically? Yes, why not? For representing something symbolically, we need the symbol of the element, that is capital N. Then you require its atomic number and in turn its mass number. In preparing the symbol, you write its atomic number below and the mass number is represented on the top. So this gives you a symbolic representation of nitrogen atom. Talking about other atoms, let's suppose we have to represent oxygen symbolically, and our next example would probably be aluminium. So can you try out and represent these both elements symbolically? How can we do so? We know that symbol of oxygen is capital O, and you know, if you see the table, that atomic number of oxygen is 8 and its mass number is 16. So representing oxygen symbolically gives you 8 and 16. This would give you the symbolic representation of oxygen. Now talking about aluminium, can you try to represent symbolically this aluminium atom? The symbol of aluminium is Al, okay? The atomic number of aluminium is 13. And as we say that this atomic number gives you the number of protons. So the total number of protons present in aluminium is 13. The total number of electrons which you have in aluminium is 13. And talking about the next subatomic particle, what you have is neutron. The number of neutrons in aluminium is 14. So when I told you its symbol, atomic number and mass number, now can you do the symbolic representation of aluminium? It is but obvious that firstly you'll write the symbol of aluminium, which is capital A with small l. So this is the symbol of aluminium. Next what we write is, we write as a subscript its atomic number and as the superscript its mass number. So you'll get the atomic number and mass number of aluminium. So this would give you a proper symbolic representation of your aluminium. You can try out many other examples and you can practice the symbolic representation of elements. Now we were doing a topic about isotopes. So isotopes were the atoms belonging to same element which have same atomic number but different mass number. So we have three important terms regarding the definition of isotopes. Isotopes, these are the elements which have same atoms. Then you have the next important term, that is they have same atomic number. And the last is they have different mass number, or you can say they have different atomic masses. So this is what you mean by isotopes. For example, taking a very general example of carbon. Carbon, you all know, is represented by the symbol capital C. Carbon can be easily shown by the capital symbol C. Now we have three isotopes of carbon, that is, atomic number of carbon would be 6. So I am mentioning the atomic number below each isotope, below the symbol of each isotope. Then you have C6, 12, 13 and 14. You have three isotopes of carbon. All the three isotopes possess same atomic number. So we have three isotopes of carbon and the atomic number is 6. That is, it is same for all. Now you have different mass number of different masses for these carbon atoms, which is 12, 13 and 14. But generally, whenever we calculate mass of carbon, like what we did in molecular masses, we only consider the mass to be 12. Whenever carbon atom comes, you calculate the mass to be 12U or 12 AMU. Why so? We have three isotopes of carbon in nature which are found. So why we only calculate the given mass to be 12 and not 13 or 14? The reason for this is their relative abundance which are found in nature. That is, the three isotopes of carbon are present in different percentage in nature. This C612 is present in the maximum amount or maximum percentage, and it is approximately 98.8%. So its relative abundance is very high. That is, if you find 100 gram of carbon sample, then among these three isotopes, 98.8 gram would be your C12 isotope. This is the major reason why we observe the normal mass of carbon to be 12 and not 13 or 14, because their relative abundance is quite low. That is, the relative abundance of C13 isotope is approximately 1.1%. And C14 is very rare. It occurs as 0.1%. So this C12 isotope, due to its high relative abundance, is calculated because it has much high relative abundance. So the normal mass of carbon is considered accordingly, and we calculate it to be C12, that is 12U or 12 AMU. So this is what isotopes means. Isotope mean they belong to the same atom, they contain the same atom, that is, we have everywhere the atom carbon. Now they have same atomic number. So we have just recently discussed the atomic number here of all these carbon isotopes are 6. We write the symbol of the element, then below it you write its atomic number and above its mass number. So while writing the isotope, you will have the symbol same because these are made up of the same atom. The next is what? They have same atomic number. So the atomic number which is written below would be same for all. So we have the same atomic number for these three isotopes of carbon, that is 6. Next is that these have different mass number. Different mass number, you can easily see that the mass of first isotope is 12, then the next has a mass equals to 13, and the last one has the mass equal to 14 units. So you can easily see that these are the three isotopes of carbon. Next, what is given in your books and what is frequently asked in examinations is a question about isotopes of hydrogen. So you should know about the isotopes of hydrogen. Again, we have 3 isotopes of hydrogen which are named differently also. So the 3 isotopes of hydrogen are named as protium, deuterium, and tritium. Again, talking about isotopes, all would have the same atom or they would contain the same atom, that is hydrogen. And you all know hydrogen is denoted by the symbol capital H. Now, because we are talking about isotopes, the atom here would be same. Then the next property, that atomic number would also be same. Isotopes are those atoms or those elements which have same atomic number and difference lies in their mass number. So only their masses would be different and atomic number would be same. So representing the atomic number, you know atomic number of hydrogen is 1. So we write atomic number at the downward side. Now talking about its mass number. The mass number of these 3 isotopes varies. That is, the symbol is 1H1, 1H2 and 1H3. Now this is the basic explanation that we have 3 isotopes of hydrogen with us. It is named differently, that is protium, deuterium and tritium. Now you have the same atomic number, that is all contain the atomic number 1, but you have different mass number. Now the question arises in exam that calculate the number of subatomic particles, calculate the number of subatomic particles present in isotopes of hydrogen, okay? Present in these isotopes of hydrogen. And we all know what do you mean by subatomic particles. You have 3 kinds of subatomic particles: protons, neutrons and electrons. So can you now calculate, as we calculated in our last previous videos, that what is the number of protons, neutrons and electrons in these 3 isotopes? Now talking about protium first, how many electrons, protons are present in protium? To do so, you know that 1 represents atomic number here and this superscript 1 shows you the mass number. As we already said, atomic number is the number of protons present in any atom. So you know if atomic number is 1, then the number of protons present in protium would also be 1. Because we say atomic number is the number of protons present in any atom. So this gives you, because the atomic number has a value 1, so the number of protons would also be 1. Next, talking about electrons, we said that usually the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. So because you are having 1 proton in protium, the number of electrons would also be single, that is 1. Now talking about neutrons, can you calculate out how many neutrons you have in this protium isotope of hydrogen? As we calculated in the last classes, you know mass number is equal to the sum of protons and neutrons, or you can say mass number is equal to nucleons present in the atom. Nucleons is the term which refers all together the number of protons and neutrons. So I can write mass number is equal to the sum of protons and neutrons present in your atom. Now atomic number shows you the number of protons. So the number of protons present in your atom, this protium isotope is 1. And you have to find the number of neutrons. And the mass number given is also 1. So can you find, bringing your 1 to left hand side, you get 1 minus 1 gives you 0. So you have 0 neutrons in this isotope, that is in protium. So the number of neutrons in protium would be 0. Next, coming to deuterium. Can you find the subatomic particles present in protons, electrons and neutrons? In deuterium, you can see that atomic number is 1. So in deuterium and tritium, both number of protons would be 1 because atomic number signifies the number of protons. Next you have that number of protons is equal to number of electrons. So because number of protons is 1 in each case, so the number of electrons would also be 1. talking about neutrons, how can you calculate neutrons? You can calculate it in the same way as we calculated it for protium. So talking about this, while calculating for deuterium, you will get the number of neutrons to be 1 because mass of deuterium is 2. Using the same formula, that is mass is equals to, we say that mass number is equal to the number of protons and neutrons. And you see that mass of deuterium is 2. So keeping the value of mass to be 2, number of protons what we have here is 1 proton. You can get the number of neutrons which would be 1. So we have 1 neutron for our isotope of hydrogen, that is deuterium. And for the next, if you calculate in a similar manner, you will get presence of 2 neutrons in tritium. So this is the question which is asked in examinations, that what define the isotopes of hydrogen, or first the question comes, what do you mean by hydrogen or isotopes? So isotopes are the atoms belonging to same element that contains same atomic number but different mass number. Okay, now talking about the isotopes of hydrogen, we have here 3 isotopes of hydrogen, that is protium, deuterium and tritium. Because these are isotopes, so the symbol of every isotope would be same, that is the symbol of hydrogen. So we have here capital H as our symbol. Next, coming to atomic number, the atomic number is same in all the 3 isotopes, that is 1. Only difference occurs in your mass number. So the mass number of the 3 different isotopes is 1, 2 and 3 respectively for protium, deuterium and tritium. And accordingly we can calculate our 3 subatomic particles, that is proton, electron and neutron present in different isotopes. I already told you how to calculate these neutrons, and the proton and electron can be directly deduced from this value of atomic number which has been provided. So this was all about the topic of isotopes. Now moving to the next topic. Our next topic is isobars. Now we'll study what do you mean by isobars. So many a times, most of the students get confused in learning isotopes and isobars. They usually intermix the things. That is, they mix the definition of isotopes with isobars, or they reverse them. So a short trick for remembering this would be, the term iso here means same. Okay, the term iso generally signifies same. And this bars, you can say the bar of any molecule, which means mass. So isobars are the elements which have same mass. This trick will be useful to you to remember the difference between isotopes and isobars. So we can write that isobars are the atoms of different elements. Remember, in isotope, I wrote that they are the atoms of same element. That is, everywhere we had the symbol carbon or everywhere we had hydrogen. But here, these are the atoms of different elements which have same mass number. As I already told you, these have same mass number or same masses and different atomic number. So this is what you mean by the term isobars. Isobars are the atoms of different element which have same mass number and different atomic number. In the definition of isotopes which we recently studied, we had that they were the atoms of same elements. But here the differentiating term is they are the atoms of different elements. Then the next important term here is they have same mass number, which is opposite or reverse to which definition we studied about isotopes. Isotopes had same atomic number. And here we are talking about isobars which have same mass number. So their atomic number would be different. Okay, obviously talking that if they will be belonging to different elements, then they would have different atomic number and same mass number. We can explain this with the help of an example. That is, if you take two different elements, calcium and argon. Okay, now talking about calcium and argon, you can see that these are different elements, or these are the atoms of different elements. Calcium can be represented by the symbol capital C and small a. Argon is represented by the symbol capital A and small r. So these are different elements. We can easily see them. They have the same mass number. Their mass number is same. That is, mass number for calcium is 40, and for argon also the mass number is 40. Then where does the difference lies? The difference lies in their atomic number. Okay? The difference is only in their atomic number. That is, atomic number of calcium is 20, instead of which the atomic number of argon here is 18. Now this example clarifies the concept of isobars. That is, these are different elements, calcium and argon, which we took as an example. Then they have the same mass number. That is, mass of both the elements is 40. But they have different atomic number. The difference in atomic number is calcium has atomic number 20, whereas argon has an atomic number of 18. So this is what you should know about isotopes and isobars. And the important question, that is explanation of three isotopes of hydrogen, that were prosium, deuterium and tritium. So these were all your concepts about isotopes and isobars and the symbolic representation. Now we have completed whole of our chapter. Okay, this chapter contained different methodologies and structure of atoms. Then we had this term which we discussed, isotopes and isobars. Now I hope all the concepts given in your chapter is well cleared. If you have any sort of doubt, you can contact us anytime. Okay, and do practice all the NCERT questions and examples which are given. Okay, we'll meet soon. Thank you.